Righty. Oh, here we are. Welcome to this private masterclass. I am excited for this one. And chances are, if you're here now, more than likely you're a dad, you're an ex-athlete. And since becoming a dad, you're not so much the athlete of old. And so some things have happened since becoming a dad, and I get it. I know how it goes. Life shifts, priorities change. And then before you know it, you're sitting in this position 20 to 30 pounds overweight. You got this dad bod going on, and you're not that athlete that you used to be. And so you've lost that edge that you used to have. You don't have that confidence that you used to have. You don't have the health and fitness that you used to have. And you're just in a different position, and you want that back, right? You definitely want that back. You want that feeling back. You want to lose that weight. You want to get stronger. You want to get fitter. But for whatever reason, you haven't been able to do that up to this point. Or maybe you have been able to achieve success, but you haven't been able to maintain and sustain it. It's a constant game of starting and stopping. It's a constant game of being motivated and then unmotivated. And so I wanted to welcome you here to this training, because what I'm going to be covering is not only talking about goal setting, right? But it's not just about goal setting, because if it was about goal setting, like, everybody sets goals, but not everybody achieves those goals, right? So we're going to talk about goal setting, but we're going to talk about how to destroy your goals, not only for this upcoming new year, but beyond. This isn't about some quick fix, like just set your goals and then you're good. This is about long-term success. And again, chances are you've tried the workout programs, you've tried the diets, you've tried supplements, and none of that stuff has worked, because it's just a never-ending cycle of you get a little bit of progress and then you fall off, and then you start back at ground zero. You get a little bit of progress and then you fall off. And typically what it comes down to, and I'm going to dig into this a little bit more, is it's a game of motivation for most people. And so with the new year hitting tomorrow, here we are, last day of 2019, today, 2020 is hitting tomorrow. Everybody is going to be excited. Everybody's going to be motivated. Everybody's going to be hyped up for the new year and all of these big plans, all of these big goals that they're setting for themselves, just like they do every single year. And maybe this is you too. So every single year you get that fire back, and you're like, all right, forget this last year. It sucked. I was full of excuses. I was lazy. I just didn't get things done. This is a new year. This is a new year. And it's easy to say that shit when you're motivated. It's easy to say that shit when you're hyped up, and it's the new year. It's just how it is. But as you may know, you get a couple weeks in, that motivation starts to wear off. That hype is gone. That excitement is gone. And now you're into the grind. What then? What do you do when you lose that motivation? What do you do when life hits you upside the head? It knocks you off track. You get busy. Most people quit. They give up. This doesn't work. I'm not motivated. And so in this masterclass here, I'm going to be talking about what we use inside the Forged Father Project to not only get momentum going, but to fucking bust through the plateaus when they come up. Because here's the thing, plateaus are going to continue to come up in your life. It's not going to be a perfect journey A to Z. Doesn't matter how good your goals are, how specific they are, how freaking motivated you are now. It matters what you do in the time when resistance hits. All right, so we're going to be digging into this. And after this training, my goal for you is you have a clear understanding of what you need to do, but how to continue to push yourself forward. So let's go ahead and dig into it. And I'm going to be sharing my screen here, kind of laying out a visual for you so you can kind of see what I'm talking about here. So when it comes down to setting goals, we have to have a start point and an end point, or an A and B, so to speak. So A, I'm going to get to that here in a little bit, but B, this is where we start. So we start by laying out some goals and targets, right? So goals, outcomes, targets, what it is that you want to achieve, your kind of destination that you're setting up for yourself. And there's a couple different sides to this that I like to list out here. And I'm going to start with the intangible side of things. And so usually when I have a conversation with a dad and I ask him what he wants to achieve, happiness comes up with that. Happiness, confidence. We want that edge back, right? So happiness, confidence, edge. There's all sorts of different feelings that we want to get goal-wise. The thing about that is you can't base your goals off of this stuff. Because here's the deal. Some days you're going to be happy. Other days you're not going to be happy. It's just how it goes. Confidence is a choice. Some days you're going to be confident. Some days you might not be confident. But ultimately, like I like to say edge here, because it's like you have that drive, right? I'll list that. A lot of guys that I've talked to over the last year, they want that drive back that they used to have when they're an athlete. They just don't have it anymore, that motivation, right? And so that's one side of your goals. Those are unmeasurable. You can't really measure those. And so these are important. By all means, these are important. But let's talk about the stuff that we need to lay out. So the first thing that I like to lay out is body fat percentage. What's your body composition? That's something that we can measure. For a lot of men, they want to lose that body fat. They want to destroy the dad bod. They want to look good again. They want to build muscle. Well, we can actually track and measure that through body fat percentage. Other guys, they want to lose the weight. So your pounds, the scale weight, right? That's something that we can measure. Beyond that, we got performance. So how strong are you? How fit are you? There's different tests that we can take. How many pull-ups can you do unbroken? How many burpees can you do in 3 minutes? Those are things that we can test and track. We got other things like events. Sign up for a Spartan race. Sign up for a CrossFit competition. Sign up for a powerlifting meet. Those are things that we can actually commit to. And then we can say, yes, I got it done, or no, I didn't. And so it's important to list that type of stuff with your goals. Now, beyond that, we have other things like how much money do you have in your bank account? How much money do you want to make in the next 3 months, 6 months, 12 months? Important things. We got your health. So things like your blood work, your cholesterol, things that we can track and measure, right? And then I wanted to add this in too, relationships. How can we track relationships? Well, a lot of dads that I talk to, they don't have much sex anymore. That connection between them and their wife isn't as strong as it used to be. And so a goal for that dad, he wants that relationship tighter again. He wants to have sex multiple times a week versus just one time a month. Or it could be, I want to go on X amount of dates with my wife a week or a month. Things that you can track and measure, right? And so either way, it's important for you to understand that, because when you set goals, your goals obviously need to be specific. Now, chances are you've probably heard about SMART goals, right? Like that's fine and dandy. Like when you actually design your goals, they need to be SMART. So everybody knows what that is. That this masterclass right now isn't about that. But obviously you need to set goals that are important to you, that are measurable, that are trackable, right? So that's our point B. That's where we want to get to. Now let's talk about point A. Point A is straight in line with what we just talked about. So you are in a current position right now. And so what you need to look at are your facts. Facts being the same things I just talked about. You can track your body fat right now. You can track your weight. You can track health. Get your blood work done. All of these things, relationships, performance. There's a certain set of facts that you have right now in regards to where you're at. And chances are you're not happy about those facts. You want to change those facts. You want to get up here, right? But it's important that you come to grips with where you're at right here, point A, and where it is that you're trying to get to, because you got to know where you're starting off from if you want to know where you're going. So we know the destination. Let's own up to the facts so we know if we need to go north, south, east, west, whatever the case may be. So it's important that we have these 2 points. Now that we have these 2 points, how the fuck do we go from here and get movement up to here? Well, let's talk about something very, very important here first. That is in regards to habits, behaviors, routines, priorities. Something not a lot of people want to talk about when it comes to goals. They just want to talk about setting goals. They just want to talk about the outcomes that they want to achieve. Well, guess what? Your current facts right now, if you're a dad, you're 20 to 30 pounds overweight, you're run down, you don't feel the way you want to feel, you don't have that confidence that you want, you're unhappy. Well, guess what? The facts are a direct result of your habits, your behaviors, your routines, and your priorities. So show me a dad that's 20 to 30 pounds overweight. Chances are his priorities, his health, his fitness, his nutrition isn't high on that list. He has other things high on that list, and that's totally cool. It's just the fact of the matter. Your body fat, your current weight, your health, your relationships is a direct result of your current habits, behaviors, routines, and priorities. Now, when we start to look at your goals here, your point B, your destination, one thing that you got to understand is that this guy up here, he's going to have a whole different set of routines, habits, behaviors, and priorities. If you want to achieve these outcomes, these goals right here, these are going to have to be in line with that. Your habits, your behaviors, your routines, and your priorities. Obviously, if you achieve a certain body fat percentage, if you're a leaner guy, if your health is better, if your fitness is up there, chances are your health or your fuel, your fitness are higher priorities on your list. And I'm going to get into this a little bit more, but you're not one of those guys that's saying you're too fucking busy that you can't work out. You're too fucking busy that you can't get your diet plan in check. Because you've gotten that stuff in check. Because it's a priority, you make it happen. And so this is very, very important that you understand this, because you're here right now because you're a certain type of individual. Doesn't mean that you're a bad guy. Like, you could be a freaking awesome guy. It's just we need to change your habits, behaviors, routines, and get your priorities straight. Because what it's going to take to get these outcomes, you're going to have to become a different type of individual. So your habits, behaviors, routines, priorities, they're going to have to shift. They're going to have to change. You just can't set goals because it's the new year and say, okay, it's magically going to fucking shift. You need to set goals and actually shift your freaking lifestyle. That's the key. So it's all fine and dandy that we can talk about this stuff, but let's go a little bit deeper here. How do we actually put all this stuff in action? And so this is where I want to bring up the mentality trifecta. This is something that I've developed that we use inside of the Forge Father that gets our freaking mindset in check. But not only that, it helps develop this right here. How you live your life. How you show up day by day, what your habits, routines, behaviors, priorities, what all those things look like. And there's 3 key pieces to this, hence the name, mentality trifecta. There's 3 pieces. Number 1 is your truth. Number 2 is what I like to call your MVP. And then number 3 are codes. I'm going to break each one of these down here so you kind of understand what I'm talking about here. Starting with the truth. The truth is the most important thing. The truth is about owning up to the man in the mirror, owning up to your current facts of what is right now. And so a lot of men, a lot of dads that I talk with, they don't want to own up to that truth. They want to keep hiding behind a fucking mask and acting like everything is okay. They're the guys that are saying, oh, I got this under control. I just need to be more motivated. I can totally start when I want. I'll start next week. Blah, 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 blah. They got fucking excuses. They don't want to own up to the truth. They don't want to own up to the man in the mirror. And they know when they look at that man in the mirror, they're not okay with that man in the mirror. And so this is where we must start, because when you neglect owning up to the truth, guess what? You're going to be weighed down. If you continue to just sweep shit under the rug, you don't own up to the fucking excuses that you're making. You don't own up to the stories that you got going on inside of your head. If you don't own up to the mistakes that you've made up to this point, it's going to be like an invisible chain that keeps you shackled to the ground. And every time that you try to change and you're trying to fake it, guess what? The real you is going to take over again and pull you right back. And so this first step, it's simple. You just own up to the truth. You say, yes, I've made mistakes. Yes, I've been a fucking lazy ass. I haven't been being the leader. I haven't been being the role model that I need to be for my family. Own up to that shit. What do you need to do to change? Do you need to change up the story and stop telling yourself that you're so freaking busy? That this isn't going to work, that isn't going to work, and just finally just commit to something in fear of failure? That's what you do when you own up to the truth. And when you do that, you become your real whole self. You stop worrying about being judged. You stop worrying about what's going to happen if this happens. You just fucking take relentless action. And you step up and you be the leader, you be the role model, and you just own your truth. Because here's the honest truth of it, is when you look in the mirror and you see this certain individual staring back at you, it's going to be that same man that has to put in the work, that needs to make the changes to create the results and outcomes that you want. It's not going to be some fucking other guy. It's not going to be me that does the work for you. You are going to have to do the work. And so until you own up to your truth, you will never change. You will never live the most fulfilled life. You'll continue to run around living behind a facade, acting like everything is okay, when inside you know everything isn't okay. And so we do not get breakthrough without breakdown. And so owning up to the truth can be one of the hardest things that you ever do. Like, what are your bad habits? What are your problems? What are your bad addictions? What do we need to fix? Own up to that truth, face up to it. That's the only way that we're going to move ahead. That's a very important step. One of the hardest steps that we make. So once we own up to the truth, now we get into the MVP. And this stands for mission, vision, purpose. Starting with the mission is very simple. The mission is the daily work that you need to get done regardless of how you feel. So the daily mission, there's 5 things that make this up inside the Forge Father. We call it the core 5. Each and every day, you have 5 specific key elements that you need to take care of. And if we're speaking about specific goals here, and we're saying, hey, I want to get down to a lean body fat percentage. I want to finally lose this 20 to 30 pounds. I want to destroy this dad bod. I want more energy. I want better health. Well, guess what? Your fitness and fuel need to be a part of your day-to-day life. And so within the core 5, we have fitness is a key focus every single day. We need to do something for fitness, whether that be a full-blown workout or it's just 20 minutes we take to stretch and mobilize, whatever the case may be. Fitness needs to be a priority. Fuel. We take time to plan out our meals. We know what we're putting inside our body. We know the quantity, most specifically. Mindset is the 3rd piece. Taking time for ourselves. Stress management. Getting our thoughts together. Meditation, journaling, gratitude. 4th thing is relationships. We need to keep our relationships solid with our better half, our wife, our girlfriend, our kids, family. Relations is part of everyday life. If you neglect that stuff, guess what? It's going to get bad. And I know as a dad, for me, one of my biggest driving factors here is relationships. Having a great relationship with my wife, having a great relationship with my kids. And then the final piece of the core 5 is all planning. Planning is the linchpin that makes everything else possible. And so going back to the dads that like to say they're too fucking busy, I get it. I'm busy too. I have 2 businesses that I run. I have a family. I have all these different priorities. And so guess what? If I didn't take time every single day to plan, to get myself organized, guess what? I would be too fucking busy too. And so if you're not planning, if you're not organizing your day, or you're not at least trying to get things in some sort of order, you're going to be all over the fucking place. And you're going to be that guy that's always too busy. And so your fitness, your fuel, you're going to miss out on those things. You're not going to have time for family. You're not going to have time for your own self. And so hopefully you understand how the planning piece is the key linchpin to making the core 5 work. But that's the daily mission. That's the daily mission. And so that keeps us dialed in and focused on what needs to be done on a day-to-day basis. It's all the core 5. And so that's the M. The V, the vision is simple. The vision is what we've talked about in regards to your point B. But going a little bit deeper, getting a little bit more specific, this is something that I recommend you do. Like you take out a piece of paper and you write down exactly where it is you want yourself to be. Like, what is the vision that you have for yourself? Don't just say, I want 6-pack abs or fucking biceps. That's surface level shit. That's never going to push you forward. Your vision should be about who you are. What do you do? What does your day look like? Like, when do you wake up? What do you do? How do you make money? What's your profession? What's your relationships like? What's your fitness like? How do you look? How do you feel? How much money do you have in your bank account? You know, all of these different things, you can get as deep as you want, but you have to have a clear-cut vision, because the vision, it's like the destination. It's where you're trying to get to. And so it should be something that excites you. You want that. And then it all gets tied in with your purpose. And so your purpose is the fuel to your fire. And so here's the thing. Without purpose, without digging in and getting clear on what your purpose is, you're going to be one of those guys that gets fucking motivated, that gets excited at the start of the year. You get a month in, you get busy, stuff happens, you miss a couple workouts here and there, but you're going to get a couple weeks in. And when you haven't visited or gotten clear on what your purpose is, you're going to quit. You're going to give up, because there is no fuel to your fire. When your fire goes out, it's out. But when you have purpose, you have your big why. That right there is going to keep you going. That's going to keep you fueled. For me, my purpose is my wife, it's my 3 daughters, is my family. They keep me going, because I need to be at my best for them. I need to do the work that I need to do to give them the life that I want them to have, to help allow them to have the experiences that I want them to have the happiness, the fulfillment. I'm in charge of that. I take ownership over that. And so that drives me forward every single freaking day to do the work that I need to do. Granted, when I'm not motivated. That's what keeps me hammering out the daily mission every single fucking day. Even when I'm feeling like running to the ground, I still do that shit. It fuels my fire. Part of the other purpose is leading the men that are inside the Forge Father. Being the leader, being the coach, help guiding them towards fulfilling their purpose, but not leading them from the front, so to speak. It's more so about building them up. So they're side by side with me, shoulder to shoulder, leading with me, leading their best lives. That's my fucking purpose. And so when you figure out what your purpose is, you will run through a fucking brick wall over and over and over and over again, because nothing fucking matters. other than fulfilling your purpose. And so most guys, they don't have a fucking purpose. They just want biceps, six-pack abs. They want to lose the weight. They want to lose the dad bod, but it goes well beyond that. And so you need to dig deeper and figure out what that is for yourself. So that's the mission, vision, purpose. That's your MVP. So again, that's something that we go through inside the Forge Father to get you clear on, what is it that you need to do on a day-to-day basis? It's the mission. You got to do the fucking work. The vision. Why are you doing this? Where are you trying to get to? This is what you're trying to achieve overall. Boom. The purpose. Why even do it? That's going to keep you going. Now, the third piece here, codes. So codes are basically rules and principles, or standards. Most guys have no fucking standards. So the codes, basically the codes were developed to help make the tough decisions easy decisions. So if you look over my shoulder here, Forge Warrior, these are the codes. Take massive action. Be the cause, not the effect. Own up. No apologies. Let integrity guide you. This is the biggest one right here. Discipline over motivation. Discipline over motivation. It means you do the fucking work, granted on however you feel. Unmotivated that day, doesn't matter. You still do the work. And here's the deal. You set these standards. You live by these codes. These codes will guide you. And so here's a perfect example. You want to lose the 20 to 30 pounds. You want to destroy the dad bod for good. You wake up, you got to get to the gym because planning wise, your day is fucking booked. You're busy. You're traveling around. You got to work. You got family time after work. You got extracurricular things. You know that your time to train is at 5 a.m. in the morning. Well, guess what? Day comes, 4:30, alarm's going off. You're sore. You're tired. Didn't get to bed the night before. You don't have that motivation. You don't want to go work out. So the man that doesn't have standards, the man that doesn't have a set of codes that he lives by, he's just kind of floating around doing things when he feels like it. When he's motivated, he takes action. When he's not motivated, he doesn't do jack shit. So that guy's going to continually start and stop. He's going to stay stagnant. He's going to dig himself into a pit. The men who take these codes, make these codes a part of who they are. These codes help make the hard decisions, easy decisions. That same guy, if he's laying in that bed, that alarm goes off, he doesn't even have to think about it. He knows this is what I'm committed to doing. I'm committed to living a life of discipline. I don't give a fuck how I feel right now. I'm going to go do the work because that's who I am. That's what I do. I want to achieve this specific outcome. I have this standard that I do the work and I don't accept excuses. It changes your mindset. It changes your freaking life. And so these codes are very, very important. And so not only are these codes important, it's committing to these codes and living these codes each and every day. And so that right there makes up the mentality trifecta. That is the mentality trifecta. And so now that we got that laid out, let's look at this. So we got this point A, we got this point B here. And so the mentality trifecta is just a small piece of what we do as a whole inside the Forge Father to create momentum, to create progress forward. And so I want you to think about, we have this vehicle. Three pieces to this vehicle to get us from here, where we're currently at right now. We want to get here, okay? You're in the center of this vehicle. You make it work. And so we got the mentality trifecta. That makes up your mindset. That makes up, the rules and principles and codes that you live by. You have a clear vision of what you're trying to achieve here. That's the top piece. We got the path over here. The path is the easy shit. Path is the information. Path is the training, the nutrition, tactics on how to set up your day. You can go on Google, you can search that stuff, you can get it all for free. But you know as well as I do that if it was just that easy, if it was just about a workout plan, a diet, whatever, you would not be watching this right now. You'd be set. You'd be good. But you already know the truth that it's not about the information. It's about implementation of the information. And so how do we help that? Well, of course, we have our path. We have our way of doing things. We have our way of training the body, building the body. We have our way of fueling the body. That's our path. That's how we get to our destination. Now, we add in the final piece, and that's the community. That's the brotherhood. And so imagine all of these pieces interconnected here. That's the vehicle. So you got the mentality trifecta. That's how you think. That's how you act. That's how you live your life. You got the community, surrounding yourself around other like-minded individuals, driven dads that are fucking determined to win, that are going to back you when you're unmotivated, when you do fall off the horse, because again, this isn't going to be a perfect journey. And so you have that community to keep you rock solid. When you fall, they pick you up. When they fall, you pick them up. And then you got the path. We're all doing the same thing. This is how we train. This is how we fuel our bodies. This is how we get from point A to point B. And it's all these three pieces that helps you move forward. So hopefully this is starting to come together. It's not just about fucking goals. This isn't just about goals. Anybody can come up with goals. Anybody can go find a workout program offline. Anybody can go find a diet. Anybody can go figure out how to track their macros and set up their own macros. But not everybody can stay on track. And so that's the biggest difference maker. And honestly, what I've found out myself after becoming a dad, I knew I needed the support. I needed the community. I needed to surround myself around like-minded individuals so I would rise. And so as I rise, everybody else rises. And I see this guy over here rising up. He's getting to my level. I need to get better. And it's just a constant game of pushing each other. And that's what brings back that athletic edge. That's what brings back that competitor in all of us. But if that competitor is never awakened again, then you're going to have tough times. And so let's look at this. Let's take this a little bit deeper. This is what I wanted to talk about here. After we've gotten this all laid out, it's like, okay, well, now what? This is where it becomes very, very important to understand that as you move forward through your journey, it's not going to be the same thing day out and day in and day out. Things are going to change. So what I wanted to share with you next is how we periodize our year. It's not just about a fucking 6-week challenge. It's not even about a 6-month program. It's about setting up your life, having a good plan of attack, a general idea. Now, we set plans, we set targets, we set goals, things like that. Doesn't mean that it's going to be perfect, right? Like we might hit a dead end. We might have to turn all the way back around or figure out a way to get through that dead end. But it's very, very important that you understand this. And so what we do, and I'll kind of draw this out here for you, is let's imagine this is January, this is December. And so as we go to attack the year, laying your year out so you kind of understand what's coming up so you can set expectations. This is very important because a lot of people, another big reason they fail is because on January 1st, they start this drastic lifestyle change. So they add in all these things. They're working out at the gym double time. They're doing double days, right? They're going extra hard, grinding, hustling, but they don't have an actual long-term vision of where they're going. And so it's just, I'm just going to have to grind like this all the time. And guess what? That's going to lead to burnout. You'll get a month in, 2 months, maybe you make it 3 months, but you cannot sustain that. But when the expectation that you have in your mind is that's how it works, then you're going to burn out. And so I want you to have a better expectation of what's going on. And so this comes with periodization. And so this is just a rough outline. So for many people right now, January, let's just say January to April, the goal is your number one focus is fat loss. Okay, body fat percentage increase, right? Or decrease. You know that the holidays are done, travel is done, and so you'll be able to get dialed in on your nutrition much better. Your training is going to be very, very consistent. You don't have all these holiday parties and things like that. So you know, expectation-wise, this is definitely doable. You're setting yourself up for success because you're playing in your head. You're like, yes, I know up until April, I can get that dialed in. I can be super consistent. I can suffer through that because this ain't easy. Fat loss isn't always easy. You're going to be hungry. You're going to be tired. You're going to be run down if you're putting yourself into a deficit. You got to push through that stuff. And so knowing those expectations going in, you're setting yourself up for success. Now in April, you're going to shift. So let's just say April through, we'll just say June, or let's not say June. Let's take it out a little bit further. Let's say July. How about that? You know, this is summertime. You do have some travel planned. You want to party a little bit more. You want to have fun, summertime. And all the hard work that you're putting in now is going to set you up to be in a great position for this time of the year. And so you know your nutrition isn't going to be as dialed in. You're not going to be as strict on your nutrition. You're not going to follow your macros so tightly. Your training is going to be a little bit looser because you're doing some travel. You're going to go on some vacation. And so again, you're setting yourself up for success and knowing the expectations that you have coming into that. You're not going to beat yourself up so bad because you're like, I missed a workout because I'm on vacation. It's like, no, you set yourself up to be in the best position possible at that time, right? Going into the next part of the year, let's just say July to October. For many of the guys in the Forged Father, we got the CrossFit Open coming up at that time of year. Many do races. Let's say at that point, from this period of time, it's all about performance. It's all about being strong, being fit. You got some events set up. CrossFit Open's coming. And so your nutrition, it's going to get dialed in specific to that. Your training, it's going to get dialed into that. You're not going to be traveling a lot. And so you're setting yourself up for success to be more consistent with those things. And then the last part of the year, it's kind of the off time of year, meaning you're not letting yourself completely get off track. You just know holidays are here. Eating's not going to be the greatest. You want to enjoy time, be in the moment with friends, family. But you're setting yourself up for success because you have that expectation. You already know what's going to be happening that time of year. For some guys, they know professionally, it's like end of the year. It's fucking cash out. It's like, I'm going to be grinding, hustling, spending 13, 14-hour days at the office. I'm not going to be getting a lot of sleep, stress, all this stuff. Why would you set yourself up for failure to have like some big ass goal, set at that time of the year, knowing all the other shit that you're going to deal with? And so a lot of times people self-sabotage themselves because they set these huge targets, but it's like they have to maximize everything out at the same time. Relationships, professional, fitness, all this stuff. Not saying that it's definitely doable. It certainly is doable. But if you constantly are doing that, you're constantly putting too much on your plate, you're gonna crush yourself. You're gonna run yourself into the ground. And so looking at this again, periodizing your year. And again, it's just laying out a general plan of attack. It doesn't mean like, okay, well, April, I said I was fat loss. What happens if something gets thrown off here? Life throws a fucking curveball your way. At least you plan that out. And at that point, you got this shit in check, mentality trifecta. You got a path, you got a community. That's when you pivot. That's when you make changes. You don't fucking quit. You don't give in. You don't settle for, bullshit. You figure out a way to push through and you change shit. This all could literally change depending on what happened. You get injured, whatever the case may be. There is no quit. There's only commitment to moving forward. And so this is a great way to set things up for yourself. Now, hopefully this has given you a solid look at not only how to set goals, like again, goal setting. Goal setting is easy. Figure out what it is you want. Set goals, reverse engineer that shit, work towards those goals. What are the resources that you need? What type of training do you need to be doing? How do you need to be fueling yourself? What type of support do you need? That's the easy part. But then actually following through and sticking through that, not allowing yourself to quit and give up like so many people do, it's never going to work that way. And so hopefully this has given you good insight on how this actually works, how you can set up your goals, but what it's going to truly take to get there. It's going to take a change within you up here. Habits, routines, behaviors, priorities. You need to make that shift, because if you're one of those guys that year after year after year, you're starting in January and then you've already given up February, March, that same fucking cycle. And then you got that story inside your head. Yes, it's happening again. I'm getting too busy. I just can't stick to this. I just can't stick to that. I'll try this diet. Maybe it's the diet's fault. It's not the fucking workout. It's not the diet. It's not the damn supplements. It's your fault. It's your fault. So again, it comes back to that truth. You need to own up to the man that you see in the mirror. What are the excuses? What are the stories? What are you not doing within your life to create these outcomes that you want? So again, it's a hard conversation that you have to have with yourself, right? But either way, I hope you got a lot out of this. If you're on the live watching this right now, or if you're on the replay watching it later, I would love to hear back from you what you're personally getting from this. What are the breakthroughs that you're getting from this? What are you going to do with this information is the most important thing. Because again, everything that I just spit out here, it's information. It's what you do with the information is most important. It's the implementation of the information. And so if you're one of those guys out there and you're like, yes, I understand what's going on here. This is me. I've been stuck in this cycle of starting, stopping. I'm ready to fucking make a change. If you're 110% serious about making a change, about putting in the work that's going to be required, this is not a quick fix. This is not, here's a diet template, here's a workout program, see you later. This is a full in-depth transformation, lifestyle. If you're one of those guys that wants to surround himself in a community with other men that are doing the same thing here, If you want that support, if you want that coaching, if you want that guidance, and you're ready to put in the work, there's an opportunity for you. So within the Forge Father, I'm opening up spots here. It's the new year. We're going to be taking on a whole new team. And the way this works, we move in teams. So you don't just come in and you're not your own man. You're a part of a team. And so you work through this thing as a team. And so you need to make sure you're doing the work that's required, or else you're going to hold your whole team back. And so we move in phases. The minimum amount of time that I work with a man is 6 months. You got to be willing to commit to 6 months, because the amount of changes that we can make in 6 months is drastic. 6 weeks, not so much. We're just getting fucking started at that point. And so if you're here watching this right now, if you're ready to take the next step, commit, there's an opportunity for you. The link to set yourself up for a coaching call, which I'll talk a little bit more about here in a second. The link is theforgedfather.com/take action. Very, very simple link. And so what you'll do is you'll go to that link, a calendar will open up. You'll be able to schedule yourself for an actual coaching call, right? This isn't a fucking sales call. This is an actual coaching call where what I just talked about now, your point A, your point B, that's what we're going to get clear on. Number one, we're going to find out where it is you're at right now. What are the bullshit barriers that are holding you back? Time, motivation, don't have the right training plan, haven't found the right diet. We're going to talk about all that shit. We're going to get very, very clear on what it is that's holding you back. We're going to talk about your point B. We're going to talk about where it is that you want to get yourself to. And then I'm going to share with you what it is that we do inside the Forge Father. I'm going to share with you the path that we use and how we'll implement it into your lifestyle specifically. And so at that point, you'll have a decision to make. Are you 110% committed and ready to walk this path with me, with the other men that are in the program? If that's a yes, awesome. We will take the next steps forward and we'll go from there. If it's not a yes, it's a no, because there's no maybes. We work in the world of yes and no. So you'll have that decision to make. It's not a pressure situation where, oh, if we get on this call, you have to say yes. You need to be committed to saying yes, because I don't work with anybody that isn't a full 10 out of 10. So you'll be able to make that commitment as long as you're a good fit and it makes sense. And I'm a straight up guy. If I don't feel like I can help you out, I'll let you know. I'll refer you to somebody else. But if I do feel like I can help you out and I know this Forge path will help you, I will let you know. I will invite you to come on board. And at that point in time, you'll have the opportunity to make that decision. And if it is a no, you'll still get a lot out of this. Granted, you'll have clarity leaving and you'll kind of have a general idea of what to do. You'll be able to go do it. But it is an application only program. I don't have this out online. You can't sign up for it. You have to go through this process, because the men that are currently inside this program, they're all committed to the program. And if they're not, they get booted out of the program. So this is serious stuff here. And if you're ready to take the next step, that's the opportunity that you have right now. So if you want to make this next year and an amazing year, a different year from the years past, and again, you're ready to put in that work and you're ready to work through this. It's not going to be an easy journey. Let's take that next step. The link again for that is theforgefather.com/take action. Theforgefather.com/take action. And then on top of that, if you do have questions, reach out to me personally. My email, theforgedathlete@gmail.com. You can definitely reach out to me that way, and we'll connect. If you got any questions, I will help you get clarity. That's my ultimate goal here. But other than that, hope that you got a lot from this. My biggest hope for this is that you make this year the best year yet. Granted, wherever you're at, if you're more advanced, if you're deep into a pit, this helps you in some way, shape, or form get traction moving forward, and you see progress, you see improvement. So again, thanks for coming on. I appreciate it. I appreciate your time. Hope you got a lot out of it. If you're going to step up and apply for the program, I look forward to connecting with you and taking you forward. All the best. Bottom line, take fucking action, commit to doing the work, and earn it.